I'm sure they murder capital right now.
Murder capital?
Right here.
Right where I am?
Right where you at.
Why? Just over drugs?
Drugs, money, territory, gang affiliation, all of it.
If you saw my Houston's Worst Hood video, you'll remember that guy. His name's Jake, and he's just about as raw and real thug life as you can get. I met Jake when I was in Houston's 3rd Ward, and apparently, unbeknownst to me, I was standing in a very dangerous place. I mean, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad. I'm beginning week 3 on this big old Texas road trip. I've seen my share of big cities so far. Austin's big and getting bigger by the day. San Antonio's the 7th biggest city in the state, and it's the 3rd fastest growing place now. But this is a lot. Houston, Texas, the 4th biggest city in the country. I think I lost my voice that day. That was me at the Houston Texans game on my final afternoon here. It was a blast. The Texans won and everybody freaked out. And what a nice place to watch a game, too. No jerks, no BS. I saw a lot when I was here, but there is so much else to see. Let's get out of here and start from the beginning. So I asked a friend of mine named Mark, who lives in Houston. I was like, Mark, what's Houston like these days? And you know what he told me? Nick, to be honest, a lot of Houston is a shithole. I was like, damn, can't wait to see it. You know me. Right now we're in one of Houston's worst areas. It's a place called the 3rd Ward. It's known nationwide as being a place for crime, drugs, poverty, thugs, gangs. You know, that kind of place. The type of neighborhood a YouTuber shouldn't be after dark. Well, that's why I'm here early in the morning. Basically, this entire neighborhood is wiped out. There's a bright spot with Houston's bad sides. It's getting better here. These wards are being gentrified from outside investors. So while the shootings and robberies and all that other stupid shit will probably never end here, at least it won't look so miserable one day. I have a whole video that goes through Houston's worst hoods that you should watch. It is bad, bad, bad. But we'll come back here later. There's a whole bunch more to Houston than just bad things. Houston is a big deal. It's been called one of the best economies in the country. There's plenty of jobs here and a lot of money to be made. It has the 2nd largest hub of Fortune 500 companies. It's a city rich in energy and manufacturing and aerospace. It's diverse and there's a lot to do for entertainment. I'll tell you that. I know that firsthand. You may not know it, but Houston was the temporary capital of the Republic of Texas in 1837. This place was runner-up to the bustling city of Galveston, which is an hour south. But then Galveston got wiped away by a hurricane in 1900. And so a lot of companies, a lot of people moved up here to Houston. And the place started to take off from there. And then the oil industry, of course, when they discovered oil in Texas, that brought in a ton of money to this place. You could say, without the Galveston hurricane and the discovery of oil, Houston wouldn't be what it is today. But there's two sides of this place. It's an economic powerhouse, but there's some real issues here. When you look at online rankings that websites put out, Houston's on a trajectory down. Down, down, down. The place just plummeted in one prominent ranking on the best places to live. Houston was the 59th best place to live in the U.S. last year, which really isn't that good. But now it's all the way down to 140th. What? That's like last place for all the cities that mean anything. And to rub it in, Houston was called the 10th best place to live in Texas. I feel like somebody's about to bone out. Fancy cars everywhere. Everybody's moving to Texas, right? Well, Houston's one of the few places in this state where the population's going down. That's just crazy, considering the population inflow to the state. But apparently the quality of life here has really gone downhill. But don't feel so bad, Houstonians. There's a lot of other Texas cities that went down in the rankings too. It seems like all these new people moving to Texas are making the place worse, not better. One website you've never heard of, called Houston the dirtiest city in the country once. And boy, did people around here not really have much to disagree about. I mean, the smog and the oil refineries and all the pollution. It certainly isn't very clean here, I can tell you that. This is how a lot of the edges of Houston look. Some people have refineries and all that shit right in their backyards. But we got to put this stuff somewhere, right? It's all very important for our national economy. Somebody told me once that if it wasn't for energy jobs, like oil and natural gas, this place would be a dump like Philadelphia or Baltimore. That's mean. If you've been watching my channel, you know I don't like going to big cities anymore. I don't like big cities for the same reason that you don't like them. They're just too much. Well, Houston's the 4th biggest city in the country. The place is the size of Rhode Island, and you sure know it driving around. There's memes about how bad the traffic is now. I experienced some Houston traffic just about every day we were here. Just something you have to deal with, I guess. I'm just glad I don't have to deal with this crap anymore. I always judge a city based on their downtown. And I really actually like downtown Houston. Most people are friendly. It's clean. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of energy here, and it's just a really nice place to get around in. I think they're lucky to have a downtown that's so vibrant. I liked it here a lot more than I thought I would. I mean, look at this park. I'll say it again. If this park was in many downtowns I've seen, there'd be weirdos and bum trash all over the place. Not here. Good job, Houston. They do a pretty good job of keeping the bums out of downtown. At least most of them. But on just about every block, there's somebody laying around or wandering about that looks like they've had a rough time. No idea what this guy's doing. You can't dress like that and be taken seriously in life, can ya? This guy was just sad. He was laying down the street, was almost getting run over. Look at these assholes, just cruise right by him like they were in the damn ghetto Grand Prix or something. I went over to try to help him, but he was completely out of it, like zombied out on drugs. So I told a cop a block down, and she just kind of rolled her eyes at me like, damn it, now I have to stop socializing and walk down there and do something. I get it though. It never ends. When we were here, the worst of it was down on the south side, under and past I-45. Near the Greyhound station was particularly bad. My buddy told me that when troublemakers from out of town are let out of jail, they give them $20 and drop them off at that bus station, which makes it even worse down here. I also hear that Houston laws prevent churches from feeding the homeless people. That sucks. Anyways, in another video, I talked to a higher up at a nonprofit here, and she said Houston's been able to get 2/3 of its homeless people off the streets. They've put 25,000 people in permanent housing. How? Well, they don't put them in shelters, they put them in apartments. And they also don't insist they stop using drugs. Okay, must be nice. But I guess it's better to have them inside than out here like this. But I didn't see a lot of tent camping here. There's no poop and pee everywhere. Somebody told me that Houston doesn't have as many homeless people because it's not as expensive here as it is in other big cities. I don't buy that at all. It's not the cost of living, it's the drugs. Just about all these people out here are on drugs, or they're here because of drugs and booze. Many refuse help. I saw another little mini tent village on the north end of downtown. All these people would rather just sit out on the sidewalk and waste their lives away, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. And then at the light, I saw this. And there was a wreck right there. Car wreck. Just right there. Holy shit. Damn, what is happening? Just saw a car wreck. She said, "You ran a red light, you dumbass." Oh, I had to get out of there. Just way too much drama going on in Houston this morning. I'm telling you, Texans are decent folks. And they're pretty friendly, but they are terrible drivers. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I saw some more drama one morning. On the north end of town, there were a bunch of idiots racing their cars in the intersection. And there were kids and families there. I was like, damn, go somewhere else and do that shit. That was dumb. Houston's a big city with many different cities inside of it. There's a lot of different ecosystems inside the 610 loop. A lot of the east and south sides of Houston are pretty run down. I showed you some of that already. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of the north and west Houston areas were nice. This is the River Oaks neighborhood. It's just a couple miles from downtown. From what I hear, the River Oaks is the wealthiest neighborhood here. Just full of mansions. Most of these people here have good jobs, clearly. I think the average home price is like $1.5 million, maybe more. It doesn't really matter though, since you can't afford it. It's way safer in here than it is on the south and east sides. Just a world of difference. Just nice hoods where mom and dad can raise their 2 kids, who will probably go to some big time college one day and then start a family of their own. And then just down the road is West University Place. It's another fancy part of town. Less gaudy, but still very nice. From what I can gather online, homes in here are about the same as they are over in River Oaks, but they're shooting up pretty fast. So get in on that if you have a couple $1,000,000. Texas is like Florida. Some parts feel southern and some parts don't. A lot of Texas has a western vibe to it with the cattle and the oil wells. like Dallas, Fort Worth. But down here in East Texas, it feels very southern. They just talk differently here than they do in other parts of Texas. Rice Village is another hood that I promised a viewer I'd check out. It's kind of on the southwest side of town. They have this super upscale shopping area here where you can get expensive things to impress your friends. Super chill. Seems safe. And down by Rice University, it's really nice. A lot of people were just walking around. Just another friendly university neighborhood. Almost all college neighborhoods are nice. Except USC. That place is in the hood. Rice is named after the Houston businessman William Marsh Rice, in case you care. Another hood we went to is Montrose. It's another upscale community on the west side of town. I'm telling you, the west side of Houston's where it's at. It's actually pretty basic in here. It's not nearly as fancy as West University is. This part of town used to be a hangout for the low-budget trendies. You know, the gays, the bartenders, and servers. But they're getting priced out now. They might have to move to the wards. People told me this neighborhood was lively. It is that. It has sort of a funky Austin-ish vibe. Lots of edgy places to shop and drink and eat. Cool little neighborhood. And up on the north end of town's the Heights. It's also a well-known upscale neighborhood. Tree-lined streets and Victorian homes for the win, huh everyone? This is all very nice. Homes here are way more affordable here, closer to $600,000 or $700,000. A lot of people in this hood are able to walk down to their little neighborhood bars and restaurants and shop at their little quirky boutiques. A lot of the middle class lives on the edge of the sprawl of the Houston metro area. The Woodlands is a super nice place to live. Here's what that looks like. Now this place is well known for being super elite, the expensive part of Texas. You tell people you live in the Woodlands and they're like, damn! Can I borrow some money? Look at these homes. You cannot afford them. There's a lot of people moving out here now, out in the burbs. A lot of them are leaving Houston proper. They call the new people moving to this area Newstonians. That's clever. It's not just the Woodlands, though. Sugarland, Cinco Ranch, Conroe. All of them are booming with people who don't want to live in Houston. And by the way, if you want to move here, Chase is a good realtor. Or I know many others too. And by the way, if you want to learn about where you should live, you should go to my website, homesnacks.com/findyourplace. On my website, you get tips on where you should move and what the costs are and a whole lot more. It's like an AI Nick Johnson consultation for free. Plus there's gear that you can buy and more. That's homesnacks.com/findyourplace. Try it today. And I'm on Cameo too. If you want me to send you or somebody you know a personalized video message, go to Cameo and search Nick Johnson YouTube. It's fun. And now back to the show.
Crazy.
You mean they don't fight with fists, they fight with guns?
No, it's gunplay now. Like back in the Western days.
Yeah. And how kids are just getting guns just anywhere, it's easy.
It's real easy.
So they grow up.
I done seen some of these kids out here with some Grand Theft Auto guns. And it tripped me out.
What's a Grand Theft Auto gun?
Like,
from the game?
M16, the video game, the kind of guns they got on them, and Call of Duty, the kind of guns they got them out here now. Like flooded out here like this now. It's like,
why? Where do they get those?
Suppressors and I don't know where they're getting from, but it's plenty of it in here.
It varies a lot on where you are in the city, but there are a lot of places in the city where you really can't, like, it's not safe to just talk to people, to communicate outwardly. You put yourself at risk doing that in a lot of places in the city.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean you can't talk to people in the city and express your opinions. What do you mean by that?
Well, it depends on where you're at, but if you're at a gas station at night, you best keep to yourself. Like, it's just a matter of self-protection that you don't, I think, have the same kind of friendliness with everyone that you could have in maybe a more suburban or smaller scale area. But I do think that's kind of an issue that pervades really urbanized areas, like metropolitan areas in general.
Yeah, not really. I mean, so you're saying you go to the gas station, keep yourself because someone's going to jack you, or they're going to like take something you said the wrong way, or it's
I think
dangerous?
I think that's very possible here. I mean, where I live here, like, I had my car broken into a couple of months ago. I've had 2 or 3 other housemates have had their cars broken into right here in the last year. So it's things like that. There are 2 members of the cooperative I'm a part of who have had their cars stolen in the last like 2 years.
God. I don't know if they burned it down on purpose or what. Jeez, this part of town is fucked up. And back to the hoods for a bit, because you people eat this stuff up. A lot of Houston is a big ghettopolis. This is a different bad side of town that I showed you earlier, but to be honest, there are a lot of bad sides of town. You could say Houston has a little bit of Louisiana to it, with the climate and the culture and the food. It kind of feels like New Orleans a little bit, especially after Katrina. You can kind of see that when you drive through the hoods. A lot of people in Houston say when Katrina hit, all the refugees came here and, damn it, made our town worse. They brought in poverty and drugs and crime. Well, I wasn't here then, but I'll take their word for it. But despite the fact of why or how or when, it's pretty rough in here. And it floods in here a lot. Remember Hurricane Harvey? There's a lot of homes in here who still haven't been repaired from that. And that was like 6 years ago. Got chickens in the road. Go and get. And then, jeez, this is the hood. But it sure is cheap though. For now. A lot of this stuff's between 100 and 200 grand. And it's just a shame that most of these people can't take advantage of those prices. A buddy told me that there's a big population of undocumented Latinos who live in these hoods, and they let them rent the low-income tax credit properties. Property owners are like, I'll take tax credits. I don't give a shit who's in there. Once again, more people complaining about how south of the border is ruining things. Here's another whole entire block. It's basically gone. Only 75% of Houston kids graduate high school. It's so bad here that the governor said, I'm going to take the schools over. And then the liberal parents here cried, thou. They said it was a political move. They said, just pay our teachers more, damn it. I mean, they have a point. Teachers are doing the best they can. There's not a lot of people who want to take crummy pay to teach in inner city schools. The stuff these poor kids have to deal with in these neighborhoods. It's so bad in here, even the liberals are complaining about everything. The big problem is catch and release. 60% of crimes committed in Houston are from people who were released on bond. You can't fight crime when you're letting all the bad guys out, can ya? Anyway, they got a new mayor in Houston. We'll see what he's going to do. He says he's going to clean all this up.
I'll save the second barrel for him.
Some bitches, Mappy! Men have been shot for less than that. I don't think you could hold your own in here anyway. Not with them Grand Theft Auto guns. Might have to call the whole cavalry.
I think we should make the punks in here go over and fight in Ukraine if they like shooting guns so much.
there's the old Astrodome. Now, Houston has a lot to do for entertainment. There's rodeos, parades, festivals, tons of theater. Missed it all. That's okay, though. There's also line dancing and all sorts of honky-tonk and stuff in Houston. But it's so spread out, it's like an hour from downtown. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to stick to downtown. I mean, I was here on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There was a lot going on. Did you guys know that only LA has more Chinese people than Houston? It's true. It's super diverse here. It's 44% Hispanic, 23% white, 23% black, and 7% Asian. And I'd heard all about this Chinatown in Houston. They're like, it's got an amazing Chinatown. So we went out and got Chinese food. We sprung for dim sum at a place called A Taste of Mulan. We even walked there from downtown. We walked right past the bums, under the overpass and everything. I hadn't had dim sum in like forever. Look at all those boxes I checked. I added in the duck-billed dumplings later. It was good. I ate more that night than I've eaten in a long time. I even got the shrimp balls. Look at that monstrosity. How do they do it, I tell you? Then afterwards, we walked all the way back up to downtown, past the bums again, and had drinks at Sonny's Bar, which is chill. It has a tiki bar theme.
That was 1.2 miles.
How many calories was it?
98.
That's it?
No, 136.
On the second day, I went for an espresso martini in a place called Angel Share. It's a charity bar. Apparently they give away most of their profits. That's nice of them, huh? And check this place out. It came highly recommended, and it did not disappoint. There's all sorts of unique places like this downtown. Fun place. And then for dinner, wow, right? This place is neat. We suppered at a joint called Hearsay. I went for the chicken salad and the charcuterie board. And what a board it was. Our final stop on night 2 was at a rooftop bar called Z on 23. I don't know what the Z stands for or what 23 means. Look at that view, everyone. Damn, downtown Houston. But after dark, it seemed pretty sketch down there. I think every night we were here, there were sirens at all hours. Like all hours. I mean, all of them.
Indestructible, ever-living seed of the Word of God. I'll never be the same. Never, never, never. I'll never be the same in Jesus' name. God bless you.
And Sunday. Now, Sunday was a scene. That there is Joel Osteen. He runs the Lakewood Megachurch in Houston. Now, I know some people aren't a fan of his prosperity gospel thing, and some people think he's a stuffy, out-of-touch, selfish, rich guy. But he does a lot for the community, and he gives a good sermon.
We know every good thing has come from you, our Father in heaven above. Lord, as we start this new week off, we commit our lives afresh and anew into your hands.
A lot of churches tell you you're going to hell and the world's going to end soon. But it turns out telling people they're awesome and headed for good things in life works way better. Joel here grew so fast that he ditched his old church, and now he sets up shop in the arena where the Houston Rockets used to play. My God. On some Sundays, there are 17,000 people here spending time with Jesus. That's a lot of offerings. And his Sunday sermon is a real hoot. music production. It was like a free concert. I was like, they do this every week? And they were like, yeah, twice on Sundays. We went to the early service. So when it was over, we had to get out of there. Why? Because we had Houston Texans tickets. That's why. So after church, we hightailed it across town for the second half of our Sunday doubleheader. That's the Texans Stadium. Houston Texans against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sunday, November 5th, right after church.
It is a beautiful day for football. Go ahead, man. Here come your Houston Texans.
Now this place is a freaking palace. I asked somebody, why don't they open up the roof and let the sunshine in? She was like, hell to the no. We like our AC here. And she was right. The place was an icebox inside. You know you're in Texas when folks are wearing boots and cowboy hats to the damn game. I actually felt underdressed. But you just wait till I get to Fort Worth, mister.
What's the next guy?
Dalton Schultz makes the catch.
I had one of the Texans receivers on my fantasy team, and I kept trying to get him involved. He had a pretty good game and scored a touchdown. Yay me. And my manager had the Tampa Bay quarterback, and he threw many touchdowns himself. Yay her. Anyways, the Texans are a decent team. Apparently not good enough to sell out. If you know anything about football, you know the Texans got this hotshot new quarterback, CJ Stroud. Well, the game we were at was his coming out party. He had the best game of his pro career up to that point, and he led a game-winning comeback in the final seconds. It was crazy. Everybody was saying about how CJ Stroud grew up today. He became a man. I think they were right. As I left the stadium on my final day in Houston, I was like, you know what? I like Houston a lot more than I thought I would. And I hope this place keeps getting better. And now, off to Fort Worth for even more adventures. Are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. And I can also help you find your new house, too. Email me and I'll work with you on not just helping you figure out where to move, but I can help you find your perfect home, too. That's right. I know awesome, reliable agents all over the country, and I'd love to connect you to somebody who can help you search for that perfect home. Hey guys, if you learned something new about America or what it's like to live in America, great. You should think about subscribing and turning on your notifications. You can also click one of these videos or playlists for more.
This is Sage, Nick's manager. This has been a Corner House Entertainment production.